Alright, how's it going, guys and girls? Welcome to today's video. Today, it's probably just a little short something anyway. It's later in the evening, it's about quitting time anyway. I've been tire scavenging. The gentleman I rent to one of my rentals to actually owns a tire shop. Well, been at his shop, been scavenging tires. There's two. I might get lucky and they fit my black wheels. That one's going to be, we got 5 of these, but they're going to be possibly way too big. And I got some random ones here that don't fit anything. One fits that second wheel. One right here fits that wheel. Now the mate of it's still okay. Got that wheel. Got a set of 16s over there. A pile over here. So in the morning, I'm going to come to the shop. I've been chasing rentals, rent and stuff today. So I'm going to come to the shop, try to sit down and get a game plan on these tires so we can have something to drift on this weekend. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Before you know it, it'll be Friday because I still want to try to change the oil in my car. Get it on the lift possibly and see what I can do from there. But I'm actually working on, I got my laptop here, and I'm gonna see if I got the right connection to hook it up to this USB port on this MSD 6014. It's the computer, the MSD setup for this LS swap GMC Canyon. I'm gonna hook that thing up real quick and maybe, if I got one of the right connections, download the app and see if I can't possibly, it's not the right plug, and if I can't possibly figure out that setting in that truck to get that thing to have a little heat in it where the timing is pulled out with that, I guess it's just the base map or whatever. That'll work. It's a short one, but it'll work. So I'm going to download this app, hook up the 6014 MSD box, and see if we can't get some kind of reading on this computer to see if we can turn this truck up a little bit, try to get some power in it. I think the timing's way down and I want to try to see if I can crank it up a little bit. So probably won't film all that, it might take a little bit. So I gotta download the app, hook it up, but if I start getting some functionality out of the whole ordeal, I may kick the camera on and just kind of show you where I'm at with it, or we'll kind of learn together. But I don't know what I'm doing with this truck. I looked at a Chevy 1500 today, and he's got a GMC. We may end up doing some trading from my old Ford work truck. Neither one are 4-wheel drive, and that's the last 4-wheel drive I got that's functioning right now. And I gotta have 4-wheel drive where I live, and with the rentals and everything I do, I need a 4-wheel drive. So I may not, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's an LS truck, and I can take this LS swap out, put it in that truck. I'll debate on what I'm gonna do here. All right, here we go. All right, so no such luck on hooking up to the MSD stuff. I'm gonna take it home tonight and get on the Wi-Fi where it can download faster. I've got the little USB thing to download the software and stuff onto this computer. I need to download the software. I think I can do it here, but I got Wi-Fi at the house and it's faster. And I'm going to download the software. I've got the little USB thumb drive, get all that stuff done, and I don't have the right cord. It's like back in the day when you had Honda, before it was Bluetooth and all that, you had to put a wire to it and all that, and a little side port. It's not completely square, but it's more so square than the little thin ones as far as the plugs that plug into the, like a USB on one side and the whatever style clip plug on the other side. It's the narrower, more taller plug side and then the regular USB. So I have to get an adapter because the new laptops have the C whatever clip, and I have to change that side to where to hook up to my laptop, and then I have to get the one that will actually plug into this computer or whatever. So I actually have to adapt the thumb drive into my computer to even upload that, because the newer computers, they don't have the old USB, you have to have an adapter now. So I have to do that, and I think tomorrow when I come back, I'll be able to, you know, at least get something, that software going, and I can actually, I know the settings I need to go to, so I can actually, you know, pre-install some of the settings into the computer and then just download it once I get here if I can. So I'm not sure how it works just yet. If I have to have the truck running, which I mean, I just have to jump it off. But I'll get that going and see if I can't match the end and get the right plug. I thought I might have one laying here, but I looked everywhere. I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure I got one at home, but we'll get that, get it hooked up, get here tomorrow, get some tires mounted and balanced, get that worked out. I'm gonna put a test pipe on the Civic, and I really need to clean the Subaru out. So a lot to do tomorrow. I had a lot of running to do today with some tires and collecting rent and all that today. So maybe we'll get a break tomorrow and get to work all day instead of ride around. So, all right, here we go. All right, so we got the last piece of the puzzle to the EG Civic, the 93, I think it is. I got a test pipe for it. I'm gonna PB blast the bolts, and we'll try to take out the old cat. Well, the old cat's already out, but just the flanges. So let me soak it down with some PB blast, and then we'll see if the bolts will come loose. So they soak them down good. Both sides. And we'll give it about 15 minutes to sit here and soak, and then we'll try to break them loose. Alright, here's our new cat. Just a cheap eBay one. Test pipe, you want to call it. It's not actually like a high flow cat, so test pipes are pretty much hollow. There's no internals to them like a catalytic converter. And these come with, because they're so universal and they fit so many different applications, they come with two O2 sensor plugs. So if you know you've got certain makes and models, that gives you somewhere to put both your oxygen sensors in it. You may have to extend wires and stuff, but it comes with one flange, but this other one is not that top. This thing's kind of jacked up, but it'll work. But that will fit that side. But this kind don't take that. It takes just the, it may have a donut gasket in it. If not, it's just the beveled piece. I'm thinking it's like a donut gasket on this side. But we'll get the old stuff off and we'll see what we got. Alright, so we've got the catalytic converter actually out of the way so you can see here. You end up having to put a wrench on the back of this, and then you can impact it from this side. It's actually a 12 on the back side and a 14 on the front. These things are spring loaded, so you want to keep your springs and your bolts on this side because it didn't come with these. If you'll notice how I had to give it a little something on my end out here to loosen that. Even though it's impact, it won't always take those loose. And it doesn't mean they're necessarily that tight. Yeah, see, this takes a donut gasket right there. That's what they call a donut gasket. And so it slips up over like a bell. But just because it's an impact don't mean it'll take everything off. You may have to sometimes give it, you know, some relief and you loosen the other side of it or whatever. So that's one side. That's usually the easy side. Now this side, the factory has like these little weird shape on the back of the bolt, and that keeps them from turning as you're tightening, so that way you don't have to hold nothing back on it. So it falls into like a little slot. So I think this is like a 14 on this side of these. These are usually a little harder, but they're not awful. Sometimes you have to just cut them off. Yeah, they're gonna try to round out. So let me see what I gotta do here. Okay, so what I end up doing is the bushings that hold the exhaust in place. I end up letting a couple of those down to get it down where I can work on it. And I've got a breaker bar with an impact grade 6-point socket so it didn't round off. And I broke all of those. So now we can get them off for the impact. And this has a different type of gasket. It's got like a little plate O-ring style. So sometimes you got to clean that off a little bit, because when you put that flat gasket, they don't want to seal very good. Or you can put some RTV on it, which I may do, just to make sure it seals. Because that gasket wasn't in the best shape when it came. Main thing is, does it fit? Alright, here we go. Alright, so I did get the gasket on and the 3 bolts. I didn't have to RTV it. That gasket's thick enough. And so what I'll do, this one's hard to get to, and I generally don't like to tighten everything until I'm done, but as hard as this one is to get to and to get it up in place, I'm gonna go ahead and just tighten this side and try to get it as straight as I can. And on the other side, you gotta make sure you got your flange turned the correct way, because it may not land perfectly as you need it to. So you wanna test fit it. You wanna push it up and, you know, test fit everything, and that's the correct whatever. But you can get this flange to turn one way or the other, and the other flange not work. So definitely look at that before you start tightening all these up. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these up, get it as square as I can, and then start hooking this side up. Alright, so I did get the gasket on and the 3 bolts. I didn't have to RTV it. That gasket's thick enough. And so what I'll do, this one's hard to get to, and I generally don't like to tighten everything until I'm done. But as hard as this one is to get to and to get it up in place, I'm gonna go ahead and just tighten this side and try to get it as straight as I can. And on the other side, you gotta make sure you got your flange turned the correct way, because it may not land perfectly as you need it to. So you wanna test fit it. You wanna push it up and, you know, test fit everything, and that's the correct whatever. But you can get this flange to turn one way or the other, and the other flange not work. So definitely look at that before you start tightening all these up. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these up, get it as square as I can, and then start hooking this side up. Alright, so it did provide the other bolts for this side, but the factory exhaust side was too small in diameter, and these are kind of bent back so the factory ones wouldn't reach. So I had to kind of make the old springs, and I had to find a washer, and it's not centered and all that, but it works. It'll hold it up tight. It won't go anywhere. Might not look the best or whatever, but it's part of using the cheap eBay stuff. Sometimes you gotta enjoy the wins when you get them and try to overcome some of the issues as they get here. But the factory ones weren't long enough, the bolts and stuff, so I just went ahead and found some and some washers and just pulled it up. So that's what I got. That's all I'm gonna put on it, and we're gonna call that finished. And we'll crank it and see what the car sounds like. I actually gotta reseal the valve cover gasket first. Then we'll crank it and see what we got. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're about to call it another day. I gotta start filming more. I got a lot going on. I got the test pipe changed on the Civic. Got them swapped. I drove the Civic around the block a time or two. I fooled with the GMC Canyon. I cannot get the MSD to link to my laptop to be able to change the settings on the timing. I just need to sell this truck. I just need it going. I had to move my son's truck forward, and we found a little treasure trove of tires. So There's a guy, I guess he ended up with a bunch of tires. They had a shop that they rented out somewhere in another town, and they closed it, and I guess they left a bunch of stuff. So I've ended up with a bunch of tires, and I had to pay. I mean, I didn't get them free, but we're tire poor here. So we got to work on that tomorrow. I got to sift through, try to get some, well, no, it'll be Thursday because the tire shop that I deal with, something's going on. They're closed till, I guess, Thursday morning, so it's Tuesday. So tomorrow I will probably get here, try to clean out the Subaru still. Still not cleaned out the Subaru. I got so much to do. There's so much to do, I can't keep up. Still working on the rental over here in town. I may drag a car tomorrow to the scrapyard or something, clean something out and haul it off. Maybe, we'll see. All right, I'm gonna call it a day, go home. Had ate today, ate a Pop-Tart and drunk a Dr. Pepper this morning at, I don't even know what time. I don't even know what time it is now. But I'm gonna go get some rest, and we'll see what I'm doing again tomorrow. All right, here we go.
I'm feeling high.